friends, welcome to my channel. My name's Lorraine and you're at my channel Shane Brick Cottage. Welcome. That you are here today. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, and this channel is primarily about cross stitch, but has also become encompassing a little bit because I kind of participate in a lot of needle art crafts and you know, a little bit about me along the way. So if you are a returning subscriber, you can tell it's been a minute. I'm tripping over my words more than usual. Welcome back. I've missed you guys. I'm sorry that it's been so long. I have been doing a lot of exciting things. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for clicking on the video and giving my channel a look-see and see if you'd like to hang out with me. I am so glad that you're here. So let's just jump in. I have the normal pile of nonsense all around me. I don't have any fully finishes or even any finishes. I do have some whips and I have a quilt in progress. I have an EPP quilt in progress and I have a lot of haul. And I kind of realize, like, as I get more and more haul coming in or whatever, like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been a while, because like when I pull it out I'm like, wow, that looks like a lot, but it's been not quite a month since we last got together to visit. So what should we start with? Let's start with EPP. That is my new shiny toy, let's say. So this is a sow, or not a sow, a cowl, a quilt along, hosted by Shelly of the Antique Needleworkers and Carrie from Tiger Lily's Designs. They are calling their sow the Grumpy Susan quilt along. I keep calling it a sow. I'm in cross stitch mode, but it's a quilt along. And this is my first attempt at, probably my second attempt at EPP. The first attempt didn't go so well a couple years ago, and I wasn't sure if it was for me. But after watching their video and getting some tips, it is super enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. So I've got one flower down. I think I set an unrealistic goal of how much I could accomplish in a month and still do my other hobbies. So I just now started my second one. Let me show you the back. So if you've never done EPP, you may not know that you're using like paper templates to hold the hexy shape, and then as you get all the way around the piece, you pull the paper templates out. So only my outer ring has the paper still in it, waiting for me to attach, you know, connect them together as I get more flowers. I did glue baste around the paper templates, but I noticed, especially like these pieces here that are getting a lot of wear and tear, getting bent as I'm stitching things together. I ended up going back and I think I pretty much hand basted every single one down. Just gave it that added security. Since this is a long-term project, I don't worry about my hexies losing their shape. And it was enjoyable. I didn't really mind doing it. So much fun. This fabric line is called To Grandmother's House, and it's a Riley Blake fabric. So let me set that aside. So that's my first one done. I really, like I've said before, I'm really enjoying that. It's very relaxing, and it's super easy to do because you don't have to like follow a pattern or really, you know, pay attention like you would in cross stitch. So it's a great stitch for when like I'm just watching television and maybe it's a show that I kind of want to pay attention to with my husband. I'll do that. If it's a show or a sporting event that I don't really care too much about, then I'll do the cross stitch. So that's where I'm at. So speaking of cross stitch, let's jump over to what I've been working on. So I have a new start. It's a Teresa Kogut pattern. It's a very small start. So I started this August 10th, and I think I probably only worked on it maybe 2 evenings. So here's the pattern, and it's called Making Beautiful Things. It's a really pretty pattern, and this is my start thus far. And I'm stitching it on 14 count Aida. That is my preferred fabric choice, and I believe, let me see what my card says. I believe I'm using the called for colors. I think so. Let me double check. So my little project card just says called for. So these are the called for. They're a little messy, but very pretty. So I can't wait to work on this a little bit more. I do enjoy having a lot of projects going on and then just, you know, pulling them, work on them for a couple nights and then switching to a new one. I'm enjoying that. And here's one that I just pulled out last night to stitch on. It's Shannon Christine's October 31st. I started this one last year. I don't have a project card in it, but I think it's in my Fat Quarter Shop book that's up there on the shelf. That's what I was looking for. But the particulars are not that important. The fun part is the pattern and seeing how it's turning out. This fabric here is super nice, and I am going to look up and see what this is, because I really want to use this more often. I don't know if this is like beautiful beige or what it is, but I love the feel. I love the color. I think it's a great neutral. So that's where I'm at. So like when I put it away for last year, I didn't have any of this little line going across underneath October. So last night I worked on bringing that across, and then I'll bring it up to meet this. So I'll box in October. Just looking at it, it doesn't look like I have enough room for the R. Like maybe I miscounted, I don't know. So I am gonna finish stitching the E and the R to make sure I'm wide enough before I work my way down. And then the colors, I don't have, I do have mostly on a drop. I have a couple loose ones. Really like bright, crazy colors, but it looks good. I'm liking it. So that one I'll work on tonight. Speaking of bags, this was a little bag I made. And here's this bag. This one I really like. I put on this little spider charm, and I just love this fabric. I love a good polka dot. So there's that. And then, here's a great one too that I started. So it is called Happy Campers by the Blue Flower. So here's the chart. Let me turn it so you don't get too much glare. I'm not doing the whole chart. I am pulling out, let me show you which motif. Right there, the beaver, and I would think it's a hedgehog roasting marshmallows. And speaking of campers, y'all know that if you watched last time, we did buy a camper, and last weekend we took it out for the first time, and it was so much fun, but so much work. It was so much work because we went with our entire family, like our children with their partners and their children. So in all, it was 8 adults and I think 7 children, and the children ranged in age from 8-year-old was our oldest, and a 1-month-old was the newest. That was baby Briar, and our eldest is Elena. She's 8. Now, we all didn't stay in our camper because our camper is really small. So Steve and I stayed in our camper in a campsite really close to the 2 rentals. So we rented a cabin and we rented an RV for our gang. And it was so much fun. The grandkids had a blast. I'll insert some pictures as we're talking because I'm a proud grandma, and you know, and these are not like beautiful professional pictures, you know. This is my circus, this is my monkeys, this is what we did when we went camping. This is our 2nd year doing that as a family. We are not going to do it next year. It was so much fun, but Steve and I both agreed, for us, it was so much work. I mean, like, so much work. because, you know, like we hauled everything there for the family, and then we distributed all the food to the different refrigerators to keep everything cold. And, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot of work. And the grandkids were perfect. They were perfect. They did nothing wrong. The adult kids pretty much got along. There is one of them in the group that will remain unnamed that has a difficult time getting along, not only with siblings but with us. So, but anyway, we persevered. We all hugged and kissed in the end, and everybody went home happy campers. So this is my happy camper stitch. I think I'm picking my own colors. I'm pretty sure, and I don't even have that many selected. I have a light brown, a dark brown, and a black going on here. All classic color works. And here is my little beaver guy I started. So he's coming to life. I originally thought about doing the lighter color for his body, but then I flipped them. I did the darker color, and then the lighter color will be like his tail and highlights. But I think it's causing a problem with my eyes. You really can't see his eyes because the black is too close to his color. So I'm not going to pick it all out. I'm going to finish it up, and you know, it is what it is. It's just going to be, my idea is to make it just a really tiny little pillow. We have this basket in the camper where I can put little things, like little decorative things. So I'm going to put that in there. So that is what I'm doing. And then when I get that done, I'll probably pick another motif and, you know, work my way through the pattern that way. I'm not a huge fan of stitching. Like this doesn't appeal to me, this big lodge. But I love all the little motifs. I think they're just so beautiful. And even how she designed the trees is really unique and beautiful. So this is going to be a pattern that keeps on giving. It's going to be a lot of little things broken up. And then we are going camping again this weekend, but this weekend will be totally different. We're going to the same campground, which is called Mountain Creek. If you're local-ish to the Gettysburg area, Southeast PA, Mountain Creek is in Gardner's, Pennsylvania, and it's right in the base of the mountains. The Appalachian Trail crosses through there. You could get on it if you wanted to. No cell phone reception. Do not believe them when they say they've upgraded the Wi-Fi and it's better. And I only say that because we have been going camping there since my kids were little, like maybe Abby was in first or second grade, maybe second grade. And, you know, she's 30 couple years old now. So we've been going there a lot of years. Love the place. We'll continue to go, but the Wi-Fi is the worst. And then, so this time when we go, we are in a different spot. We're in the back of the campground instead of the front where all the action is. And it's just us, and we're going to take our dog Oakley. Oakley didn't go with us on the last trip since it was our first trip out. And we had all these people and all these activities. We kenneled her. So we'll get to take it for another test run, and it'll be just different. It'll be a whole different experience. Same campground, but a different vibe because it's just going to be us. My husband's cousins have some permanent spots up there, so we will. We're talking about taking our bicycles, and maybe we'll ride over to their campsite, and then the plan is to do some hiking. Because you know how I said I was going to be dedicated and do steps before stitches. So I'm working on getting more exercise in my life. So we're going to do that. Anyway, let's continue on. This is not Lorraine's camping show. This is Lorraine's crafty life, needlepoint. So here is my other whip. And I know this project card is in the living room. It must have fell out of my bag because it's been sitting in the living room. Let me pull this out. This is a joy to stitch. This is a little Lizzie Kate pattern, and I do have the little charm that came with it. And here it is. Sorry it's all wrinkly. I don't iron my stuff. And pretty much everything I stitch on is 14 count if you're new. But isn't that beautiful? Just a cute pattern. And here are the colors. I don't feel like they look all that great when you hold them up like this. Like that orange really is a little jarring for me. But when you have it all together on the fabric, it is just nice. And I think this blue is like one of my favorite blues. What is this one? This is a DMC 926. 926. And it reminds me of a classic color blue corn. That's what it reminds me of. I haven't held them side by side to tell for sure, but that's what it reminds me of. And I do plan on stitching all three in here just as they show it. So this will be another pattern that just kind of keeps on giving. Now this one's not in a homemade bag. I am desperately either in need of finishing some projects so I can free up some bags, or making some bags, and I don't know, there just never seems to be enough time. So I think I shared with you last time, I found like it's like a 6-pack or 7-pack of these at Walmart for back to school. They have like the little grommets to put in your binder. And when I was up at Walmart, maybe right before we went camping when I was getting some more stuff, I got another package. So I have a lot of these now, and they're really nice. I mean, considering, like, I think it turned out to be like a little over $1 a piece for them. I mean, it's better than a Ziploc bag in a sense, but not really that much more expensive. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, this is one that I really did like 3 starts on last year. Harvest Time by Pickled Barrel Designs. And I did do some color changes, and I'm still not totally in love with my color changes, but I'm in far enough. I'm going to keep going. So here it is. This fabric is so dreamy. This is a fabric flare, printed fabric. I think, do I have my project card? This might predate project cards too. I think it was called Harvest. And I think it makes a perfect background for this. So I put a couple nights in on that. You can see, like, I sometimes, whoops. Yeah, I do. This is, I have a needle parked in there with thread hanging. I am Hot Mess Express, I guess. I kind of park my stuff. Now, if I knew I was putting this away for the season, like I wasn't going to work on it until next fall again, I would pull the needle out. But this is definitely staying, you know. In my mind, September 1st, which is my birthday, yay me, is in my mind, the official kickoff to fall, because fall is my most favorite time of year. I love everything about fall. I love the leaves. I love the cool weather, the sweaters, the fall cozy, everything cozy. I'm not like a pumpkin spice person because I don't drink coffee. But you know, I like a good slice of pumpkin pie or a pumpkin roll. But anyway, so that September 1st officially at my house is fall. And there's a little bag I made. This one's one of those ones with that Annie Soft and Stable in it. It's really nice. Then here is, now this one was a start along with Kelly, I always get it wrong, Kelly, the Farm on Highway J, something like that. I'm so sorry, Kelly. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember. So she showed that she had this pattern. I bought it last year, and I was like, oh, let's start along. And she said, sure. So we started along. And she's made great progress. When I watched her last Flosstube, she made some great progress. Me, not so much. So here it is. Because it's on 14 count, and it's like a blanket. It's like going to be huge. And I don't know. I just I like it. I need to work on it and get into it. Like, it's like a book. When you first start reading a book, sometimes it's a little slow until you know who the cast of characters are and you know the plot, and then once you're in, like, you can't put it down. And sometimes cross stitch is that way for me. Like, sometimes I have a slow start, but once I get going, I'm like, oof, I love this, got to keep stitching. So that one, that's a Lori Holt pattern. I'm sure you've seen it around. That was a last year pattern. really looking forward to doing that skirt. I think that's going to be fun. For sure. Definitely. Looking forward to doing that. And this is a little bag I made last year. And it was my first attempt at foundation paper piecing, and that was so much fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I like that scrappy pumpkin. So there was something I wanted to say about that. Oh, about mentioning Kelly from Far on Highway J made me think of my stitching friend that I met through Flosstube, Kelly, another Kelly. We were enabling each other. Shelly, the antique needleworker, she has launched a whole new chapter in her needlework life. She is now a designer, focusing on reproduction samplers and whatever else floats her boat. I thoroughly enjoyed watching her video. I watched it probably, I don't know, I was staying up late one night and it popped up in my feed, her announcement. And so anyway, Kelly and I are going to start one of the charts. I know I bought it, but I don't think I downloaded it yet. So maybe I'll show you that next time. But if you haven't checked it out, go check out her channel and her store and all the new exciting things she has going on. Even though I'm not what I would call a sampler stitcher, I like the smaller, cuter home deck kind of pieces instead of the more elaborate and well-appointed statement pieces. Would that be a better way of saying it? Elegant pieces. I totally appreciate the style, and I'm so excited for her because I don't know her personally, but she seems like such a genuine person, and I just couldn't be happier. You know, there's room at the table for all of us. For those who like to just share like me, you know, my goal, it would never be to design a pattern or anything like that. That's not my wheelhouse. I just enjoy stitching all the things. I love everything about needle art, needleworks. And so my goal is to just share because it keeps me accountable. It keeps it fun for me to, you know, check in and make these videos a hobby about a hobby. And it's always so exciting when somebody gives it a thumbs up or I get a new subscriber. So thank you so much. This is a great place for me to say that. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my video. And if you've made it this far and you're not a subscriber, what's holding you back? Just hit that subscribe button. It just tickles me. I'm like, oh, I got another new friend. So I hope I do that for you. I hope that maybe you see something that I'm working on and it inspires you in a certain way that brings you joy and happiness, and you know, and we can cheer each other on. And that's why I've also kind of been sharing just little tidbits of my exercise, my journey to get a little bit more fit, because my hobbies are all sedentary. I sit and stitch, either if it's cross stitch or English paper piecing or quilting. I'm sitting, I'm at the sewing machine, or I'm in front of the television or listening to a podcast or something. And then at work I sit. I have an office job. So I need to get moving. I need to move this little body of mine. So thanks for cheering me on, all of the folks that cheered me on. So that concludes cross stitch. I showed you English paper piecing. Let me show you the quilt. I made huge progress on my Smokey the Bear quilt. I thought I was going to get the top done yesterday. Whoops, and it just all hit the floor. Hold please, let me get the pieces off the floor. Okay, I guess I'm good. I got what I need. So let me show you. I gotta be careful here because I got stuff pinned. How far I got. So I got the two sides on. So here, I can't show you the whole thing because it's a panel, it's big. And there's one side on, and then the other side got stitched on. And now I gotta do the top and the bottom, and the top and the bottom have these piece trees. So let me show that to you. And the goal is to have this, you know, completely done and ready to gift for October 4th. That's when we're going away with our friends to their cabin up north, northern PA, in the Benzette area where there's elk. So I want to give this to them for inviting us to their cabin, and they're just good friends. So each corner will have a tree. And then here's the top piece. I've got pins in it holding it together. So this is how far I got last night before Steve came in for the evening, and then we made a late light supper. So that's where I'm at. So hopefully I will have this top done sooner than later so I can show it to you guys. And then I'm not sure if I have fabric for the back or not. I'm leaning towards that I don't. I have a little bit of fabric over here I keep looking at, but I don't think it's enough for the backing. Unless I piece the back. There's another tree and another tree. And I believe this was a free pattern from Riley Blake. I bought the kit from an Etsy seller, and they included a pattern from Riley Blake. I didn't look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's a free pattern because Riley Blake does that a lot. Kind of like the Fat Quarter Shop. They're very generous with their patterns. So my fabric's a little different. I don't have the blue. They had a different color in their kit. I just bought whatever they had. And so it had all the fabric that I needed to complete the top. And then the instructions are really straightforward. And it shows you how to make the tree. And I think I'm going to hold on to this. Even though it might be a free pattern, I'm not going to, show it to you in case that would be wrong. But these trees, I think these would go great on any, like, panel quilt that would be complemented by trees. Like I'm thinking like a Christmas quilt. You have a panel, you could throw some trees in there with your Christmas fabric. So let me set that there. Now I also have haul. I have some Happy Mail, and I think that's about it. So like if you need a drink, get a drink, because the haul is like awesome and amazing. So let me start with some mail that I received. So I received, okay, so this one is actually from a person that I purchased from. Let me tell you what their store is. Let me open this because I saved it so I could show it to you. This was a good Etsy seller. Well, I can't open it. It's without making a bunch of noise. It's called a Nocturnal. I'll put it down below. Nocturnal something. And an owl is their logo, and there's their QR code. And they gave me some little wonder clips and a little magnet and a bookmark with my order. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure what I ordered from them. Probably some fabric because I got a good bit of fabric here. And then I did receive a this is a card from Mary in, let me put on my glasses, Mary, so I can see which Mary this is. This is Mary in Minnesota. She sent me a really nice thank you card. Very pretty. She was the recipient of one of my past stashes of Ada. And so thank you, Mary, for sending that thank you card. That was so sweet of you. And then speaking of sweet, like let me find it here in my nonsense pile here. I got a card from Kelly. So like little card there. And then she sent me like a bunch of just little goodies with a cute little note. So thank you, Kelly. I won't read your card to everyone, but it was very nice and I appreciate it. She had some extra, what she sent me was from her stash. Some extra EPP papers, pre-cut hexagons. She sent me some patterns. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sewing and cross stitch. So that was really nice. Thank you, Kelly. And then as far as haul, my haul, you're not going to believe, like I swear I had the best time at our local thrift store. So look what I picked up at the thrift store. $4.99. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So this is so cool. I couldn't open it in the store, but I came home and opened it, and it's like, look at this. So there's like this huge panel that you can cut apart and make like a summer banner. And I used this fabric line a couple years ago, and I made a kitchen table topper. And so I'm totally going to make the banner because we have like a little pass-through type window between the kitchen and the living room. So this would be a perfect place. Oh, there goes a bunch of bags. A perfect place to hang this banner when I have that patriotic tablecloth out. So there was that. And then there was a pattern in the fabric to make this table runner, which I'm not going to do. I am going to, let's see, oops, I think it was this batch here. So I think I was gonna save these fabrics and put them in my stash. They're just small cuts. They're really pretty fabric. Now this one here, there's a good bit of, and this one here, there's a good bit of. So those I wanted to keep. Then these fabrics here, I wasn't going to keep. So I was just gonna throw those in my pasta stash or donate pile. And then here is the pattern, the booklet to make the pattern with all the instructions. It also came with these cute buttons and stickers and all the embellishments to make this very cute sewn and applique pillow. Can't believe it. And then the person also had, they must have had in their collection, and they just stuck it in the box, I believe this, and I don't know, a unicorn, some floral, some strawberries. I don't collect Ruby Star Society fabric, but I believe Elizabeth from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did or does, and so I think I've seen some of these prints before when I've watched her. So I believe what I'm planning on doing is those little prints and those little odd cuts, and of course the cute little buttons. I'm just going to leave all that in this box, and maybe one day this could be a, you know, a pasta stash palooza where I just group a bunch of stuff together. So I'll set that there. This fabric I will put into my stash. And then the only other thing this month, no, I got two other things from the thrift store this month that are sewing related. I got, do you know what this is? If you are a seamstress, you know, it's a pressing, it's a ham. It's called a ham. I got it for $2.99. I'll have to tag on so I can tell you what a bargain it is. And you use these, they're really firm. And this is wool here. Like for curves, you could use it like on the breast portion of a blouse or on the shoulder portion of some sleeves. It's a great way to press your garments when you're making them and get that nice curve in them. It's a really great tool. I did not have this. I think pretty much that probably rounds out all the tools I would need as a seamstress, other than a body double, which I did have a store-bought body double once that I didn't really use that much because I didn't care for it. It was one of those ones where you crank the knobs. And then I made one off like a store mannequin once. I padded it out to my size, and that was okay, but my room's really small, and I kind of like just kind of haven't been sewing that much, been doing other kinds of stuff. So anyway, so let me set that there. Then the other item that I got from the thrift store is I've been collecting this little series. If you haven't read these books by her, they're awesome. They're an easy read, and they always have some kind of focus on quilts and friendship. So good read. So I got that. And then, oh, I think I got another card laying here. I sure am. I sure do. So this one is, oh, this is from Charlotte in Iowa. Charlotte in Iowa sent me a beautiful card. Yeah, very nice. So there's that. So now I can put all of those away. Then I just have patterns and stuff. So this These were on clearance at Joann's. It was $5 something for all these little itty bitty tomato pin cushions. I don't know if your Joann has them left, but I'm picturing these in like a really tiny, like a little tiny jelly jar, like a jelly mason jar, like all in there, and just sitting on a shelf here in this room. So I got those. I thought that was so cute. My floss fix came for, what month is this one? This was my August floss fix. So very pretty. And maybe I'll use a design board to show it to you. This room gets to be so crazy. My design board's so crazy too. This is a homemade one. So that is, let me, Hayride. It's almost the time of year. So it's a really neat green with different shades of greens with some brown undertones. Hazelnut, that's a color I already have and is very pretty. Heather Lee, it's a purple and a pink. It reminds me of like a little girl's unicorn. Hickory Sticks, that's a classic color from Classic Color Works. Holly Berry, this is a red that I did not have, very pretty. And Honeycomb, a beautiful yellow that I've used before, a yellowy color. So those are those colors. So those will get added to my growing supply of thread or floss. I bought a pattern off of Etsy. I've never done one of her patterns before, but I love the bear paw quilt pattern, and I've never done one, but I also love the bears, and our camper is themed with black bears. So I'm going to do this, but I'm going to omit the snowman. So I'm going to do the pattern, but omit the snowman. I am probably going to stitch it on a blue as well, and it's really pretty. And she had a lot of nice patterns on her Etsy shop. Then I also received from Fat Quarter Shop this is a monthly club until I have them all. And I'll probably start this end of October, early November. I'll start cross stitching this. I'm going to do them all on one large piece. This is a pattern that I got from her store went out of business. I'm running out of battery juice. So it was called Just Sews online, and she had a long arm quilting business, and then she has small children, and so she made a tough decision to close her business, and so she liquidated stuff. So I got this pattern by Chelsea Stratton from her, and I've got a whole stack of fabric from her as well, which was like just ridiculously cheap, like $2, $3, $4, maybe $4 a yard. So I bought all that she had of certain colors like that. I think this is a Brenda Riddle. I think this is Brenda Riddle. I think these reds and blues are for the flag quilt I'm working on, so I got some yardage. So pretty. So I bought what I could. And then she also had some Lori Holt rickrack. And I think the rickrack was like 80 cents a yard. So she had white and she had some green. The green's a little bigger than the white. I think Lori calls that vintage trim. I don't think she refers to it as rickrack. These I got from Fat Quarter Shop because, one, everybody needs more floss straps. But look at these from Lori Holt. I've been dying to crack into these. They're like little mittens. Little mittens. So stinking cute. You have to go get some mittens. So cute. And then I also got, I think this is where I got from that nocturnal something with the owl on it. Etsy. I bought, this is the green fabric for my EPP. I do have some of this fabric, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty. So I don't know if, what I bought. I don't know if it's a yard or more, but this is for the pathways that'll go between them. So I didn't want to run out. And then this was an impulse purchase. And this just came, this was a brand new purchase from the Fat Quarter Shop. It was on flash sale, but let me show it to you. I don't think I've ever bought this fabric line before. It's called 10 Karat Gems by Wilmington. But, well, here, I'm just gonna break this open because I'm gonna use it soon. Because I want to use this to make a throw quilt for the camper, for sitting and watching TV, or stitching, or whatever we're gonna do. I don't think I'd take it out by the fire because I wouldn't want to risk getting embers on it. But it's all different shades of blues, like navies, light blues, checks, dots, you name it. It is so pretty. I'm sorry I can't giving it justice by flashing it. And that's going to go perfect with our colors in the camper. And I think I'm going to just use, Fat Quarter Shop has many free quilt patterns on their site. If you did not know that, I've used one called the Layer Cake Loop, I think twice now. It is the most simplest quilt pattern to use a layer cake, and it turns out really nice. And you really get to enjoy the colors. I'm not going to chop them up. I'll get like, it will either be this 10-inch square, or it'll be like a 5 by 10 piece, so you get a lot of the print. And I really just want even though it's not a design, it's just color, I just really want to showcase the fabric. So very pretty. So I think that is it. I mean, goodness, that was a lot of haul. So going forward, and I know I say this often, going forward, there'll be less haul. There will be less haul. Let's be realistic. We have other goals we want to meet in life, and so I need to pull back a little bit on the hobby spending money, because now that category includes my jazzercise. So that's going to take a chunk out of the budget for fabric versus jazzercise. But I got to have balance, right? I can't be all about like hordes of fabric and never use it and then never exercise. So I'm going to exercise some because I really enjoy the classes, and then I'm going to shop some because I enjoy shopping and getting new pretty things. So that's it for this week. I hope to get back on schedule because I was doing weekly videos there for a while, and that really kept me motivated to stitch a lot, so I have something to share with you. So I hope to get back on that schedule, or at a minimum every 2 weeks again. I know this has been a month. It's been a summer. It's been a summer where I've been all over the place. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.